What's the number one skill someone needs to start a business?
I think what's important here is they need to understand the numbers. And the reason why I think a lot of people start businesses because they have the courage or they have good sales or whatever it might be. And on the other side of it, I've seen CPAs or people that are very analytical that won't ever start businesses. So I've seen both. I've seen the very assertive and gregarious person go out and start businesses and fail, and I've seen the ones that are so tight with everything, and everything has to be perfect that they never start. And so I think that you have to have kind of in the middle. But the reason why I said that I think that you need to understand your numbers is because I have lots of friends that own companies or businesses or small businesses that are not profitable at all. So they're busy. It's what we call a busyness, not business. It's busyness, and they're busy. They're constantly busy, and they're saying, "Hey, look, I own this company." But basically all they've done is replace their job with more income, and they're not that profitable. So you really got to take a look at your margins, which is how much money are you actually making on a product or a service, and how much is your time worth? And so that's why I think the numbers are so important, because some people take jobs or some people start companies and they don't really understand the economic impact behind them. I think it's terrible how poor teachers get paid. I do. I can't even believe that they can live on $30 or $40 or $50,000 a year. It just blows my mind because they're hard workers. Now they do get the summers off, but that's not the point. The point is they're working their butts off the whole time. And so I always look, money is a claim on your time. And so I always look at those things whenever I look at anybody. And so when you ask me the question, I think the number one skill is understanding money, understanding financials, and understanding on what your time's worth and what it might be if you're going to start a Subway shop, or you're going to start a flower shop, or you're going to start a property management company, or you're going to start a real estate company. What does it actually mean financially? And that's the most important piece, because I think a lot of people jump forward and say, I'm just going to own a business. I'm going to buy a franchise. I'm not going to really understand what it produces for me. And that's why you see a lot of trades in the franchise world is, the corporate franchisor is selling to the franchisee, and when they actually get and they start running it and they start to understand the costs and all that stuff, it may or may not be as profitable as they thought. Now, that's not the case in every one of them, but that's why the numbers are the most important. I'm looking at a deal right now that somebody sent me, and I'm actually considering investing in it. But it's the same idea. And so there are flaws inside of the numbers on the presentation the guy gave me, big flaws. And so now I'm going to shoot him back questions and say, how did you come up with this? How did you come up with that? How did you come up with this? Those are numbers. And so they can be skewed and manipulated, and they can be whatever somebody wants them to be. And you need to validate them. And if you can't validate them, which is the numbers and the financials, then you really need to learn how. And if you really want a very simple way to learn numbers, if you're not very good at it, is to play the cash flow game. And inside of the cash flow game, if you go to the Rich Dad website, you have to fill out a financial statement, and you have to fill out an income and expense statement while you're doing the game. It's just like Monopoly or the game of life. So it's very simple. You can get there very simply. I taught my kids how to do this from a very young age. And now when they're in their math class and their finance classes, they understand it just because they've been playing a game. So that's a very good way to start.